hello.
Hey,
how you doing? All right?
welcome.
Yeah, welcome. Whoa, how's it? Yeah, what's up with you?
I'm not very well.
Nah, nor am I.
Caught it from you.
And I caught it from some arse.
Well, we made the mistake of
swearing
going
already.
out in public.
Some arse
We've
on the
both
train.
got a cold.
This guy was just sneezing, and you know when someone sneezes in a close space to you, and you can feel the air sort of become like miasma-esque, sort of cloudy with whatever. Oh, anyway, that's enough. That's a disgusting thing to think about. Anyway, we hope you're all very well. Auspicious times indeed. Very exciting.
Yes, well, I mean, in spite of being unwell, I actually feel really a lot better being here and seeing you guys. So thanks for that. You're the medicine.
Yeah, and I remember last year it was the 4th of July when we did our show, so it's the 3rd of July now. So yeah, Happy Independence Day again to you.
Happy 4th of July. I hope you have lots of fireworks.
Yes, you guys over the pond. Don't do that thing I saw on Twitter. I wish I had the clip. Someone had basically let off all their fireworks in the front yard all at once. It's very, very exciting.
As long as you're a good distance away, it's okay, right?
None of them were. No, well, they weren't.
Really dangerous.
And then they really were. They ran.
I love fireworks.
But it was very entertaining and what have you. But yeah. Should we do the intro?
Yeah.
Okay, so coming up on tonight's show, we have news. What do we have news about?
Just stuff we've been up to this month, all the various things we've been doing for the past, well, it's not quite 30 days, I don't think, because we broadcast in the second week last month. Anyway, we'll tell you about what we've been doing, what we've been busying ourselves
we'll get on with
with.
that. Lots of stuff. We got album update time as well. I can't seem to put our picture-in-picture on. I don't know what I've done wrong.
Well, you can figure that out while I run through the things if you like.
We've got news. Have we got a reveal tonight?
We have a special reveal.
We're going to reveal something to you. Just you, though.
Yeah.
Don't share it with anyone. And we've got a song stories.
Yeah, we've got a song stories related to the special upload that our boosters received on Bandcamp.
Indeed. And following that, we got news about the boosters and stuff. And we got a synth of the month. We also have, in fact, a very we got a performance at the end, basically. Yeah. Does this phone? Yeah. We got a performance. And yes, a bit of a weird, it's different thing.
Yes, it's
we'll
tell you about it before we put it on.
I'll apologise for it before it happens. Yes.
Should we start the show?
Yes, all of that and more is coming up on your 14th BOOcast. Wow. Here we go.
Does that mean we're like a surly teenager now?
Yeah, disgusting. We stink. We stink. We're grumpy. It's all happening. So yeah, thanks for joining us, guys. Hope you're all very well. As I said, yeah, we're not feeling great. It's a really bad one.
Short though, thankfully.
Well, I've had it since Thursday.
Yeah, but it's getting better, right?
I don't know.
There's a time delay, so I'm like glimpsing into my future, seeing how you are. It's like
you will become
you're
me.
like my poison tester, like in the court. Let's see how he goes with it first.
Yeah,
but I've had the poison. That's
just because
I
get to eat a little bit of everything you're eating. It's not the same.
It's really hard not to get a cold from someone in the same house. We tried to, be distant, but it doesn't work.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah. Let's get on with the news. So, what's the news?
Immediately after our last BOOcast,
yeah,
something happened.
Oh yeah, we got this. We got a copyright claim on our own song. So, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah. Well, we got this email. You could just hit play, and we were like, "Oh, hold on a second, but this is Chris's song. Why have we got a copyright claim? Oh, because it's Katzen, a different band. But who's claiming the copyright?" And it turns out it's owned by, was it Merlin LLC?
Yeah.
So we had to dispute the claim and say that you have the rights to share that song actually because you wrote it.
Yeah.
and all rights reverted to you some time ago. Maybe you could explain, actually.
Yeah, I should probably explain.
The deal.
So I was just watching that changing around on the screen. Yeah, I mean, I released an album with an independent label called the Sheffield Phonographic Corporation, based in Sheffield, obviously, and they subcontracted it out to Shelf Life, who are still in the States. I think they're LA and somewhere. Anyway, all of that lapsed and finished, and I got in touch with the
Sheffield Phonographic
them
Corporation,
and said, look, can you just give this all back to me, because you're not going to make any money out of this. No, didn't. And so they did all that. Yeah, it was quite a surprise to see being done for your own music, and with a company I'd never heard of, Merlin LLC. So it's quite interesting.
So I guess they own Shelf Life.
Yeah, I wonder if that's ever happened to you. I've heard stories about this happening to other people before, but I mean, obviously people that are a little bit more successful than I am.
We were a little worried, because they were like, if you've submitted this claim falsely, you will get a strike against your channel. It will be demonetized. Not that matters to us.
No, they said they'll shut the channel down.
Yeah.
So, very exciting. Can we have the...
Yeah, you can cut to me.
Okay, so
this is the performance from the last show that we did.
One.
We just played the song. It was a live recording, basically. Okay. And luckily, they solved the dispute within a few days. Yeah. And we're like, yeah, of course, it is yours. No worries.
Yeah.
So
I just wondered if that's happened to any of you before, or if you've... I mean, I've heard stories about it happening, but I mean,
this is
quite odd when
bit of a problem. I've heard this happen to quite successful artists, and they've really struggled to claim their own music, because they have to prove their connection with it, and it's all automated systems. We've got a similar thing at the moment with trying to recover your old email address, where all the documentation.
No, that's entirely my own fault.
Is. Yeah, but so he's been locked out because the password is long.
This is an email address from like 15 years ago.
Yeah. But they won't let you access it, because they're like, well, we don't know who you are. And it's like, well, yeah, but we've got a right to access our own data.
Fair, I don't know who I am most of the time. So, I mean, that's fair enough.
It's just this with these automated systems. It's like, if you could speak to a human, it would be solved in minutes, but it's all computers.
Yeah.
Boo.
Boo, indeed. Boo. But
if you want to get the Katzen song or album, it's on Bandcamp. We've got two screens today. We've both got our computers hooked in. But you can get it on Bandcamp, or listen to it on the last episode of BOOcast.
Yes, listen to it on that if you wish.
Other news?
Yes.
You've been doing some stuff for Sonic State this month.
Yes, I've done some 5 minutes with. So I've got 3 ups at the moment. The Razzmatazz, little pink drum machine, the Roland S1 tiny thing, and the CSO1. Got a little one on there. I'm just quite interested. I noticed that there were a lot of reviews of the CS, the S1, and it's just like, it seems like you get a glut of all the same thing being reviewed by lots of different people. I wondered if there's anything that you thought you'd like to see reviewed or played that you haven't seen.
Doesn't necessarily have to be new.
Maybe not new. I'm also thinking about the Synclavier, the new tiny little desktop Synclavier thing that's just come out. It's a bit pricey. I'll have a go on that. But is there anything you guys would like to see? Obviously, we've got a synth of the month today, and it's a bit of a blast from the past again. Not that far back though. But yeah, just wondered if there was anything. Basically, because I'd like to expand a bit, and it'd be nice to do things that you haven't just seen everyone else doing as well, because you get the same thing over and over again. It becomes, well, it's interesting. If you're thinking about buying something, it's useful, I suppose. But
there does seem to be a sort of a news cycle of synth, that the same topic goes around for a little while.
Your head did that when you said that.
Yeah, it's a special button in my back. It makes me go. No, stop it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it works. It's cool. It's like that.
Yeah.
Can't do it. I'm Glaswegian. I can't do that kind of thing. Get you beaten up. Aye.
Well, should we go on to our album updates?
Yes, well, what are we talking about here? Oh, God, yes. Okay, so this one's got a bit of a reveal for you. We weren't going to do this, but we're going to do it because you're the only guys that are going to see this. We've got comments here.
Well, yeah. What are we doing? Comments or
Pick them up.
hold on?
So yes, we decided we only get sort of like 100 and whatever views of this, and to whatever views we get of this, and it's you watching live that's really the most important thing. This it now. What's happening right now? It's like telly. So we thought we'd share something just with you. What are we sharing?
Well, this month I've been working on the cover, and I designed the cover last month, but this month I've been working on actually making it out of a lino cut print, which is an ongoing process because I haven't done that since high school, and there's a lot to it. Materials, testing. The prints are all over the workshop. But basically, I thought we'd show you the cover.
Oh.
This is the digital version.
This is it.
But I'm hoping to have, and it doesn't have any type on it yet.
This isn't autofocus.
This is
there's the cover.
Roughly the cover.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Strong symbol there.
Yeah. Is that a blackbird?
It is.
Okay. Oh.
Which is interesting because one of our songs features a jackdaw.
That's
not a jackdaw. They're multiple bird things.
Not a jackdaw.
Not a jackdaw, it's a blackbird.
Is that a blackbird?
Yeah. You just asked.
But why isn't it a jackdaw?
There was a jackdaw in one of the other drawings.
Okay. And that's enough. We
So this is what happens. Yeah, it's very much in development. So we'll be challenging each other a lot on every aspect of this as we go.
We also, would you like to hear the name of the album?
Oh, you're going to say? Don't say.
Oh.
Don't say. Not yet.
Okay, maybe next month we'll tell you what it's called.
Wagyu mentioned the Chemical Brothers and Kid Rock filed copyright claims on their simple synthesizer filter sweeps.
Yes.
Which is very cheeky.
Yes, people get hit on that all the time when they're doing demos. Apparently, if it's more than 10 seconds, if you do a filter sweep that's more than 10 seconds, I think it might have been you that told me that, Wagyu, actually.
Poor Ian has had the same thing happen with his Sinners Music Records label being claimed by his distributor. And he now has I now have a way of telling them not to claim.
Okay, well done.
That's good. Well done. Yeah, it's quite tricky working it out.
I mean, I'm sure it must be. When you sign a contract with a label, you're all excited and you think, "Hey, come on, woo, finally!" And I know that's the way a lot of people get completely caught, don't they?
Yeah.
And then years later, you're realizing, "Oh, what have I done?" If any of you have any tips or whatever, I mean.
Well, I was reading actually with the AI thing, people using their people are asking actors for permission to use their likenesses in perpetuity. Oh, yeah. And I saw an article with Samuel L. Jackson saying, "I don't sign that shit," because it's they can make you in AI in theory and have you act in whatever they want you to do.
So the contracts I've ever seen would say in perpetuity. The first time I said, well, what does that mean exactly? It means forever.
And ever. Until after you're dead.
Yeah, and now they can recreate you from, take your voice from a few sentences and it will sound rubbish, but,
Just never sign that stuff away.
I just worry about people's ability to spot whether something's real or not anymore. Somebody, did I say this last month? I can't remember. Somebody posted a video of a tiger on the beach and saying, is this real or is it AI generated? And like 70% of the people said, oh, it's AI generated. I was like, no, it's real. And I thought, to be able to tell the difference. But there's also this thing where people will think something isn't real if it seems improbable.
It's kind of I think your default stance has to be one of doubt and skepticism.
Absolutely.
Everything is fakeable now.
Absolutely. And the fact that we're living in a time where you can't tell what's real and what's not, and that is being used against us all the time. By the way, happy birthday, Julian Assange.
Yes, happy birthday. He's still in prison.
Apropos of that.
Travesty.
Yeah, I know, it's disgusting. But that just brought me onto that for some reason. Yes, I got a bit heated. I think I need a glass of water.
Settle down. So what else have we been doing? Cover up for the album. Been working on that. We had a couple of music video ideas, and I was starting to build something in After Effects, and Chris was like, "Why don't you just do it in 3D?" And I thought, "You're right." And I started out doing 3D animation, and I haven't touched it for over a decade. So I thought, it's time. I'm going to have to reskill myself in some 3D. So I've been doing a Blender course.
Blender?
Yeah, called Blender Launchpad,
oh, right. Okay.
Which is a really cool course. It goes through building a sort of Back to the Future style car, flying through a desert and crashing, and everything involved in that. Oh, I think it's Back to the Future's 38th anniversary today or something.
Happy birthday,
as well.
Back to the Future.
Yeah, but this is cool. It's going to teach
has anyone
me.
noticed my hat yet?
Yeah, everybody noticed.
Okay, fine.
They love it. It's great. It's a new hat.
Because look at that. Ah! Put it back.
Summertime. Got to have
just
a breathable scalp.
I couldn't deal with hair anymore.
Yeah.
Just shave it off. Hey, get it off me. Get it off me.
Now
Sorry,
you have
carry
a
on.
hat. Anyway, yeah, Blender is free, like Reaper and DaVinci, and it's amazing. It's such a robust program, and I'm looking forward to trying out some new things for the new videos.
Isn't it wonderful that all this software, amazingly powerful, potent software, is free?
It's incredible what you can do. I
And
mean,
using
3D Studio Max when I was in college, it was $3,500.
Yeah.
In what's that? I won't say. I'll betray my age. Well, it was 2003, 2005.
I don't think you need to worry about betraying your age.
No, it's just it's a silly thing, isn't it? I've just seen it in
Sat
films
next
so
to an
much.
old crocodile like me. But the like using DaVinci Resolve now, and like all the I'm getting into Fusion. I'm trying to learn bits of Fusion.
That's the cool thing about Blender and DaVinci is they have this node-based system, which is a modular way of working, basically. And I love it. The logic of it, just going, I want to plug that into that, into that, into that, and it's very, very powerful stuff.
So that's very exciting. That's
upskilling.
That's what's been going on with us. I'm really not telling them the title of the album yet.
No.
Okay.
We've done one big reveal. That's enough.
Okay.
Maybe we can do the title because you haven't decided on a font. So
I'll do a big reveal now.
We've done a few. So the font choice, we agonize over the font choice. I'm quite happy with it, but we're not 100% yet. Anyway, speaking of music videos, somebody asked us to do a song stories on passing places. I can't remember who it was, but thank you for asking. That is what we have in store for you tonight.
And if you've got any tissues handy, this one's a bit of a tearjerker. I haven't watched it. I've watched it about 3 times during the edit. I haven't got through it once without crying a little bit.
Me too.
But hey, maybe that's just us. But here we go. It's time for song stories.
Oh, that's me.
That's you. Let's go back to
too many inputs.
That's too many inputs. This is just. Let me sort this out. Where are we? Right. So that's it. Here we go. Song stories.
Song stories.
At the beginning of 2013, we had plans. We'd released our first EP in December and were working on our second, Tusk. We planned to record an album in Scotland and then move to Germany. Chris was changing his career and I was going to go freelance. We'd already begun downsizing, selling books, CDs and unused instruments. We were working on music and our future around our day jobs. Before I go any further, I have to introduce you to Boy. We first met Boy when we moved into a downstairs flat together in Brighton. Boy used to visit us every day, even sleeping on our bed and waking us up with purrs and kneading in the morning. We called him Boy because we didn't know who he belonged to, or what his real name was. He was the first Norwegian forest cat we'd ever met. He played fetch and he could leap and twist as high as we were tall. He loved cheese. He didn't like the Eagles, but seemed to enjoy electronic music. He was a huge part of our lives and one that we were dreading saying goodbye to. It snowed a lot that winter. One day I came home and Chris had a demo for a song called Passing Places. He said he'd been watching Boy in the snow. It was beautiful. I wrote down the lyrics he had so far and started working on writing the rest. At the time, I was in the practice of writing daily haikus to keep sharp, and I brought images from dreams while writing on buses and trains. This was very early on in my songwriting experience, and I really struggled to tease out the right words. Chris hadn't said what it was about, but I could sense what it meant to me very clearly. Everything was changing. We were starting a brave new chapter in our lives, and we were saying goodbye to Boy. The vocals needed to be whispered at the beginning. This was a new challenge for me, as whispered vocals require very fine breath control. I was just starting to get into the physical practice of training my voice, but I really had very little idea of how to interface with it. I even noted during an exercise in February that I had felt abdominal support for the first time. It was a long journey from feeling that support to being able to control it, a journey I'm still on, really. This made recording vocals difficult, and we stalled on the song for a while, until suddenly, one productive Saturday in March after gig practice, we re-recorded National Grid and Passing Places, and got both. I wanted the beginning of the vocals to have backwards reverb because it felt like an icy, wintry sound. This proved impossible in the DAW we were using at the time, so Chris got out the trusty Porter Studio to record the backwards reverb effect. We had decided to release a video for every song on the Tusk EP. Chris made the first rough edit of desert, sky and snow. I took over, adding all the imagery I could find in archival footage that just felt right. The spinning top became a motif and an animation within the album art. There are lots of cats. It all gives a sense of moving forward without being able to stop, without looking back, travelling inevitably into the future, with no time to mourn what might have been lost on the way, but somehow carrying it with you. In April that year we released Tusk, and our plans abruptly changed again. I was offered a pay rise at work. We still had to move, but we decided to stay in Brighton with steady jobs to support us in making our music. On our penultimate day in the flat, we left Boy in the house with the window open so he could leave any time. The next day, when we came back to finish our final clean-up, he was waiting there for us. Chris laid down on the floor and Boy sat on him, as though preventing him from leaving. We shared a final meal with Boy, gave him some cheese, and said goodbye. We told the new renters all about Boy, and they, a young couple, were over the moon to meet him as they'd wanted a cat. They called him Rascal. We found out years later when they moved that they discovered Boy's real owner. Boy was a girl called Precious. She lived with very young children, which might explain why she preferred to hang out with us. But I think it was more than that. We were family. Boy was the first furry member of Boo. We've never seen her since, but we hope she's happy somewhere, smiling at the bees and leaping for her toys the way she used to. That's the story of Boy and Passing Places. Apropos of that, we thought we'd share with the boosters all the songs we've made about Boy on a special EP. So if you join our Bandcamp as a subscriber, you get loads of extra things like stems and exclusive demos, unreleased EPs, free downloads, cocktail recipes, all sorts of goodies. And you will get the Black Cat EP, which has those 3 songs remastered recently by Chris for you guys.
Yes, I thought I'd go in and have a dick around with them.
Yeah. Well, just polish them up a bit because one of them
seems fair.
Boy was on Tusk. It was the bonus track on Tusk, which is long sold out, and yeah, that was pretty early on in the rough and ready days of recording.
It was.
Things have advanced since then.
Sadly, Tusk is one of those things that we probably won't ever make available in a physical form again because it's just simply so complicated to make. It really
is.
It was lenticular, not lenticular. Yeah. Do you?
Yeah, I don't think
it was an animated cover. Might not work.
Quite come across on the video, but there is a trailer. But it's and this isn't even our copy. We lost our copy. This is a friend's copy. Thank you, guys.
It sort of works,
but it has sort of it's animated, so the black lines cover up frames, and as you slide it across, motion happens.
And there's animation on the inside as well.
There's the spinning top.
See if that's dancing works.
The
spinning
dancing.
top.
Oh, us. Should we try it?
Give it a go.
I don't think it'll. It's too dark.
It'll be out of focus. Can you see anything?
Yeah, it will be out of focus because we put it on manual focus.
No,
it just looks black. That's not a good advertisement.
It does work, but
it does work.
It only works insofar as it's not worth the trouble.
Yeah, we were very ambitious.
We're very excited about. Oh, it sort of works. Let's do that.
There are a few other people who've done lenticular album covers. I think Tool have one.
Oh yeah, they do, and it's proper lenticular. Yeah. It's on the plastic case, so it actually looks really good.
The DIY version.
Tool's album, one of them's got an actual LCD screen in it, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy. I love seeing what people come up with.
How do they make any money?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, they have. I think Maynard has a vineyard, so maybe he falls back on that.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to fall back in a vineyard one day.
Yeah. Oh, I should say as well, if you are subscribed to us for 6 months, we will award you with a Boo Peter badge,
Yes,
which only very special boosters get.
Yes, we do have a spreadsheet for that.
Yes, we're keeping track of you all.
But I mean, you can buy a Boo Peter badge.
Well,
as
you can just buy one, but if you've earned one, it's better.
Yeah.
Tastes better.
But it really is worth it because I mean, how many EPs is that now? Is it 7? 7 unreleased EPs.
Yes, 7.
We got stems. Haven't got many stems. Haven't had many stems lately. I might stick some more up soon. Yeah, there's loads of stuff. It's worth it. And
yeah, you can scroll back through the whole history of all the stuff we've posted behind the scenes.
You get everything.
Yeah, you get everything. Every new release that we release, you automatically get to download it.
Yeah.
So like when the new album comes out, that'll be in your pocket.
You
already.
get a copy. So and we're looking at the new album. As we said, we're working on it right now. It's funnily enough because of this cold. And I was a little bit ill last month as well. And
yes,
I've been
you were
kind of up
during
and
the
down.
BOOcast.
I've noticed my ears have been a bit of a mess lately. I bought some Otex ear.
Oh.
I thought maybe my ears need
plunging.
I don't want to, but I just thought, oh, come on, maybe it can't hurt. It can hurt, and I don't think my ears are back to normal yet.
Do you think the Otex ruined them?
No, I think the cold's ruined them. But
good.
yeah, it's really irritating because I'm right at that stage where I want to be able to hear. And
but that's all right. It gives me more time to learn Blender, so I can do cool videos for us.
Yeah, yeah. We got some pretty good videos.
Some ambitious ideas.
Yeah, they're all going to come out. Basically, you're going to have this every month, and then suddenly, sometime around, hopefully
before the end of the year, hopefully autumn,
October, there's going to be a massive deluge of content just flying straight out of our faces, right at you. Run! There's going to be an album. There's going to be songs. There's going to be videos. There's going to be
goodies,
t-shirts.
I'd
goodies.
really like, since making the lino cuts. Actually, I looked back at our screen printing video, and I was thinking, I should do it as a screen print. Then I could make t-shirts of the album cover as well as prints. But that's a whole other kettle of fish. So many ideas. We're at the exciting ideas stage.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Hey, wait a minute. Don't people get 10% off merch as well when they're...
let me check.
Something like that. Never mind.
I think so.
To bigging it up.
Yeah, 10% discount on all of our merchandise.
All merch, you get 10% off. So, hey.
I just wanted to note that Wagyu and Caitlin were talking about building cameras in Blender.
Wagyu. Hey, Caitlin. And nice to see you here, Caitlin, by the way.
Thanks for joining. Seeing you in the comments. Nice to see you in the show. And everybody who's joined. It's like Stefan.
Andrew. Kev Oyston.
Kev,
how are you, mate?
Yeah,
it's been years.
Maths is here. Andrew K.
Matt.
Philip Fonbar. Andrew Cole. Andrew Books. There's loads of people. It's brilliant. Thank you.
What a lovely community we are.
Oh, speaking of community, shout out to AD Vision who mentioned that there is a Huddersfield EMOM tomorrow.
Oh, yes.
I couldn't find a link for it, so I don't know where it is or what time it is, but if you're walking around Huddersfield, I don't know how big Huddersfield is.
If you can hear some blooping noises,
follow your ears.
Follow your ears. And Huddersfield, how about sorting out a link? Or one that we can find. I mean, there may be one there. If you find it, post it in the comments and we'll try and re-share it.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's an EMOM coming up.
Blender, amazing. Building cameras in it. It's incredibly powerful. Very, very cool. Just checking through the comments here. So nice to see everybody. Maine Coon cats and Norwegian forest cats are so huge with their fluff, says Caitlin. One of my exes had a girl who looked as big as my torso when she laid on the bed next to me.
Yeah.
We've convinced our neighbours to get a Norwegian forest cat, and they actually got a Maine Coon.
Yeah.
And her paws are all, she's a kitten, but her paws are like lion paws.
Yeah.
And her ears are like lynx ears.
Yeah.
Very
the
cool.
thing about Norwegian Ouija's and Maine Coons is, I think Maine Coons are the same. I'm allergic to cats, and I'm normally come out in hives, and I can't breathe, and it's horrible. But it's because of some thing in there.
The Fel1D protein, and
what's it called?
Fel1D protein.
Nice. Say that again.
I said it twice.
It sounds so good.
When you're allergic to cats, it's because of their saliva.
Aye.
And basically, when
Can you say saliva?
they lick themselves, they put this fel-1D protein all over their body and all
She
over
said
their
it again.
hair. So that's what you're allergic to. And Siberian forest cats and Norwegian forest cats have hardly any of this compared to other breeds.
Yeah. And so I'm not allergic to them, which is great. If you've had trouble
And
with
they're pretty special. They're like a
really
natural wild breed.
Yeah,
they're kind of like dogs.
they self-domesticated. They basically came down from the trees and went, "Hey, there's food. Hey, these guys are idiots. Hey, I'm going to move in with these guys."
The Vikings used them as ship cats, and they called them fairy cats.
Yes.
I just love them. I love dogs as well, for the dog lovers out there. All the creatures are good, but Norwegian forest cats are pretty magic. AD Vision said it's at Arcade Beers Station, St. Huds. So, Huddersfield residents, that's where to go tomorrow night for your EMOM fix.
Arcade Beers Station.
Yeah.
You mean Arcade Beers?
Station? Oh, Station Street. There's no commas. I didn't know how to read that. Arcade Beers, Station Street, Huddersfield.
Thank you, AD Vision. That's helped a lot. So if any of you are up there, let's get along for it. So do you want to see a synth of the month?
Oh, yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
You sure?
What
you
is
sure
it?
though? I'm not telling you. Yeah.
Hit play.
No. Yes. No. Wait. Oh, hold on. God, why are there so many inputs today? It's really confusing. What am I doing? What? No, that's wrong. Yes. Ah, well done. Yes, I'm turning into Nick Bat.
Yes.
It's started. Here we go. The BOOcast synth of the month is the Arturia Minibrute. It's 2012, and after years of producing soft synths, Arturia surprised the universe by announcing the Minibrute. The Minibrute was surprising because not only was it a piece of genuine hardware from what had seemed to be a software company, controllers aside, but it was the first genuinely affordable, genuinely VCO synth in several years. You could argue that it kicked off the analog synth resurgence of the last decade. But did we get one? Of course we bloody did. But you know how it is. Getting a new synth is very much like getting a sandwich toaster. There's the initial honeymoon period where you have toasted sandwiches every day. You make inspired sandwich decisions like, what happens if I combine jam and cheese? And would mushroom and acorn go together well? And it's all going great until one day you tidy up and the sandwich toaster gets put to the top of some cupboards out of reach, collecting kitchen fudge, and you all but forget you have one. The same thing can happen to a synth, and it's often just a question of studio geography. Where you put the synth, whether it's within easy reach or not, will determine whether you play it or not. That's what happened to my Minibrute. And so, today, I'm bringing it out of the darkness. But to my horror, it's as fudgy as an old sandwich toaster. The Arturia Minibrute. And oh my goodness, when I got it out of the attic today, it really was covered in fudge. I don't know what plastic Arturia made this synthesizer out of, but every single one of these knobs and these side panels and these sliders were exuding a kind of gluey, cheesy fudge, which I tried everything. You wash it, you scrape, ultimately you have to just scrape the thing. So I am now probably going to try and find some new knobs for it, because honestly, what is going on? What is happening to this plastic? Anyway, the Arturia Minibrute. So we were so pleased when this came out, and it looks a lot like the Roland SH1, and we were really excited because I thought, great, fantastic, I can bring something out that isn't kind of irreplaceable. It's got some similarities to the SH1 in that it's black and white and it's got sliders, but it doesn't sound like it at all. It's a single oscillator synth with a sub-oscillator. I say single oscillator synth, but what a single oscillator it is. We'll come to that in a second. Got two envelopes, one for your filter and one for your amp. It's got a whole bunch of controls over the top. It's got a Steiner Parker filter, which I think is pretty unique to Arturia. Originally, it was the Steiner Parker Synthicon that used the Steiner Parker filter, and it's got a very, very particular sound. We've got the Brute factor. Yeah, it's kind of a feedback knob. And down here, there's a digital section. There are two LFOs, effectively. There's one here, and there's a vibrato. The vibrato one, as its name suggests, can only be used on the pitch. And there is an arpeggiator, and it's got aftertouch. It's a lot of synth, isn't it? So let's start by listening to a saw. Let's bring it up to about 75%. I don't have an oscilloscope, but that sounds a bit... It's all right. It sounds perhaps a little bit less sharp than I'd normally like. But the saw has a trick up its sleeve, so we've got the ultra saw amount. What's ultra saw? Well, let's listen. So it's bringing in multiples of itself, I think at different pitches, and it's given the effect that you've got more than one oscillator or a bit of phasing going on. You can change the rate here. Sounds great. I'm going to put some effects on that. That sounds pretty amazing. Just one saw, you can change the rate. Definitely sounds like detuning. How can you have detuning on a one oscillator synth? This is how. Bring in the sub oscillator as well. Okay, so let's go to the sub. So the sub, you can have a square or a sine, 1 octave or 2 octaves down. Let's bring that up. The next waveform we get out of this oscillator is the square wave. Let's bring that up. And we've also got pulse width manual on the top there, so and we've got pulse width modulation connected to the LFO, controlled by this knob, pulse width modulation and metallizer. Let's bring it up full. Speed it up. The interesting thing for me here is that this ultra saw has a separate speed to the pulse width modulation, so we can have two. That's a bit pulse widthy, isn't it? I mean, not really, but you know what I mean. It's modulated, so we can have the super saw doing one speed. Goes pretty fast as well. And pulse width modulation doing another speed. Have them together. So we've got two modulation sources going to these two different waveforms, which is pretty cool. The next waveform we have is a triangle. So we've got... But again, we've got a way of modulating the triangle, and this is through the metallizer, it's called. So there we go, that is pretty intense. I guess it's wave folding. Let's change the waveform to sample and hold here. Ooh. So yeah, doesn't it sound good? Finally, we have some noise. And we have audio in. Now, the mixer is interesting because it seems to overdrive the amp and the filter as you go past a certain point. I'll just bring in the saw. And well, let's turn that back to... It's interesting, they kind of fight with each other and almost seem to cancel each other out a little bit. You hear that? There's a drop. Almost as if these two waves are out of phase with each other. But let's turn off all the modulation on there. Something interesting is going on. You hear that? It's kind of... Yeah, weird. But, I mean, this is one of the reasons I think I sort of initially went, oh, I don't like what it's doing there. But actually, it's not bad, is it? It's kind of interesting. If you push everything up to full... I'll turn that down. Pretty huge sounding, isn't it? So that's the oscillator and the mixer, and I'm sure you'll agree, that's a pretty impressive oscillator all by itself. And we haven't even got to the Steiner Parker filter yet. So we've got, let's just use the saw, resonance down to 0, envelope amount down to 0, keyboard tracking down to 0. Let's turn off the ultra saw. So this is a 12 dB filter. Wow, listen to that. Let's bring this back down to about 50%. There's a lot of burning going on there. I think down at 25% it's starting to sound like ordinary filtering, but even above there, to my ears, mind you, my headphones may be broken, I can't tell. We'll see what it sounds like in the mix, but it's quite a dirty, burny, very characterful filter. And let's bring the resonance up. Let's go 12 o'clock. 2 o'clock. Ooh, hear that loud. And this is very characterful. If you ever go on YouTube, or if you're lucky enough to own a Synthicon, I think it's very reminiscent of a Synthicon, this sound. Oh. We've also got bandpass. Really good. High pass. See if we can do that. Boosting the low frequencies thing. Whoa, check it out. What the hell is going on? Bring that back up. See if it'll do it again. Yep, it's doing it again. There's no modulation here. That's just the resonance fighting. There we go. And a notch filter. Obviously, we can control the filter from the envelope. The envelope has fast and slow speeds, so slow speed does this. Pretty slow and fast. Does that. So the resonance on this filter is pretty fierce, isn't it? Let's bring it up. So the keyboard tracking goes from 0 to 200%. So let's see if we can get it in tune. I bet we can't. Let's try. Okay, I've been trying and it's not possible. I mean, not to me anyway. But that's fine. So let's mix the... If you put the resonance up full, you don't lose any low frequencies. Because this is a 12 dB filter, and it's always just on the verge of being a bit unstable. Dare I say it, even a little bit malevolent-y. What is it? An old quality to it. It feels old. I like it. We haven't even got to the knob which gives the Minibrute its name, the brute factor knob. So if you see the master volume, the brute factor and the cutoff are all outlined in white, this is to indicate that they affect each other. Let's bring up the brute factor. Turn down the resonance. Put the volume there. Okay. Interesting. The brute factor is basically a feedback knob. Like when you plug the headphone jack into the external in on a Mini Moog. It seems to round off some of the bite of the filter, but it adds a lot of... There's a big farty grunt there, isn't that nice? Let's bring up the resonance now. Ah, there we go. So the resonance actually should have a white outline as well, because that really does its thing, doesn't it? So you hear sort of with this sound without any brute factor. Bring it in. Sort of adds more harmonics, lower harmonics, so that it gradually descends into... So it sounds like the brute factor is working with the master volume, and it's kind of... Do you hear the way the filter seems to be opening as the decay dies away here? Hey, the brute factor's good for big old drums. So the LFO is pretty good. So as we've already seen, it controls the metalizer and the pulse width modulation. Goes pretty fast. There is a mod online where if you don't mind opening things up and sticking different components in, you can increase the speed of the LFO, but it's pretty quick. Could be faster, I suppose. Yeah, so in the LFO we got the pulse width modulation and metalizer. We got positive and negative on that. We've got pitch, positive and negative. We got filter. And we got a bunch of waveforms, so we got sine, triangle, saw, square. It's bipolar, so once again, tuning's going to be a tricky one there. You'll probably be able to do it. We've got a sample and hold. Yep. And we've also got sample and hold with a bit of slew in there. For that classic old-fashioned thingy. Haha. The clock for the LFO can be tied to the arpeggiator. Come to that in a second. We've also got the vibrato here. Now, vibrato only works with the modulation wheel. And it goes pretty fast as well. And we've got unipolar square up and unipolar square down. Fortunately, it doesn't seem to go much further than that. Along here, we've got a touch of glide, which is only on or off. Now, there were problems with the keyboards, I seem to remember, when they initially came out, where they were malfunctioning or whatever. Mine seems to still be working. However, it has gone yellow. More plastic weirdness going on here. Why do these things go yellow? I mean, I know why they go yellow. I've looked it up online. There we go. I promise. I don't smoke, okay? So we've got some really great stuff here, but it sort of drifted its way to the back of the list of synths I wanted to use, even though it has a very particular quality. Now, I said this goes with the clock. You can get... Something I've been meaning to do with the Minibrute for a long time is that there is a mod you can do online at this website, and it's as simple as plugging your Minibrute into the computer, go to this website, download the librarian it's got, into that librarian, put this piece of code, and it turns your arpeggiator into a 64-step sequencer. Even give you this to print off. You can stick it on top. In fact, let's do that now. So to record, now you can see what you do. You record by doing this. It's moving around, never mind. So you get to play your sequence forwards. In reverse, and there it goes, forwards and backwards, and then it adds an extra octave up note every so often, octave down, and then random. And let's, yes, put that into... So there is the Arturia Minibrute back in my life where it belongs. I'm going to replace all these knobs so they don't get cheesy again, I think. And I might replace the end cheeks as well because they get cheesy too. But it's wonderful to have it back again. Yeah, thanks for watching. Sorry, I left it for a little bit longer at the end there.
It's enjoyable.
Yeah, I just kind of fell in love with it all over again. Sorry,
it's
I
out
didn't.
Now it's staying out, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And I'm sorry, apologies. I didn't touch the aftertouch. I should have done. Never mind. And yeah, interesting thing. I was researching or reading whatever I could. Apparently, Steiner and Parker, who were building their Synthicon. I always thought it was the EML. What's the synth that Perubu used? Electrocomp. Does that use a Steiner Parker filter too? Because I thought it did, and then I couldn't. I mean, I actually had to re-record that bit of the video because I was so certain. And then I looked it up, and I couldn't find any evidence anywhere.
Oh.
So I changed it to the Synthicon. I didn't want to give you wrong information because that would be bad. But yeah, the reason they built that filter is because they didn't want to pay the licensing to Moog for the ladder filter, so they just built their own. And apparently, it's quite it's sort of related to the Salon key filter, which is very similar to the MS-20 filter, and the Salon key filter is the filter on the Malevolent.
Yes.
So there's you can hear it. It's a filter that's a filter on the edge, man.
Yeah.
It's
nearly corrupted.
Yeah, but we had some nice comments. Thank you so much. And I've just cut quickly to this image of Yoad's
Yoad's
what a
mini micro brute.
Wagyu, thanks for pointing that out to us again, Wagyu, because that's a thing, isn't it?
That's from the Sonic State studio tour of Yoad Negro's studio, which is really cool. You should check it out. Loads of diamonds in there. But the real topic of conversation was knob fudge. Everybody was talking about knob fudge and how to deal with it. I did. I had to say it. Everyone was talking about it. You said cheesy knobs. I think that's worse.
I didn't say anything of the kind. So basically, this is what I used. I just used that.
Yes.
But to be honest, it didn't really work. I had to scrape it off, and it's a problem with a lot of things. You've got
loads of people talking about it. So Wagyu said he's got no stickiness on the Arturia Origin or Matrix Brute, but yes on the Expressive Touche and the Behringer Tweakalizer. Somebody else, Andrew K replaced the end cheeks of his Mini Brute with wood. Yeah, Kosh Dukai said IPA saved their propeller head balance and nectar sustain pedal. And Mocha Stuff said used IPA on a rubber torch.
That's isopropyl alcohol.
Yeah, isopropyl alcohol. It's
not a fine ale.
Yeah, no. No, not ale. Don't put ale on your synths.
India Pale Ale. You could try. I don't. I mean, yes, it probably would do some harm.
Yeah,
so don't
it
try.
would. And Wagyu said, try retro, bright, and peroxide for yellowing keys.
Yes, thanks for that. Yeah, I don't know. It has to take it apart.
It's a lot, to get the keys out. Math still has his Minibrute, has CV Gate, of course. Give me a poly version any day, he says.
Yeah, totally. So I mean, the Polybrute.
Yeah.
Was that what it's called?
The Matrix.
The Matrix Brute. Oh God, I've got
Too many brutes.
Too many Arturia products. But isn't it amazing? So the Arturia brought that out. What was it, like 11 years ago? And I meant it. It felt like magic. It's like, wow, they've made something solid and real after all these not real things.
It's a good thing.
And now look at what they've done. I mean, they've what a great company.
Orcspin was sold on it after seeing Adrian Utley play it through an Echoplex.
Oh yes, I saw that too. Yeah.
Did you? Where's that? Is that just on YouTube?
I can't remember who did that. It might have been Arturia themselves. I can't remember. But yeah, he had a...
I remember waiting for that. It was one of those releases that just kept getting delayed. And we kept going into GAC in Brighton going, is it there yet? Is it there yet? And they were like, another month, try again.
Yeah, but it finally arrived and it was lovely when it did.
It was kind of first live rig setup, really.
Yes, it was. It came out with us.
Yeah.
But then we got the base station too. And that kind of took the place a little bit because it's programmable and it's got some sequencing. But that's got sequencing now as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else?
Exciting.
Andrew K said we should release a kit synth, call it the Boo 9000. I like it.
I remember very clearly a certain synth designer, I'm not going to mention any names, saying that there was going to be something, some little Easter egg on a circuit board somewhere. Maybe it happened. I don't know. I haven't opened.
It's a suggestion that you made to include.
And yes, I included this, and it got included.
He did it.
He did. He did it.
He did it.
He done good.
That's good.
Well,
the main thing is that it's out there and people are getting the benefit.
That's true.
Speaking of Ed Francie mentioned that you saw a film exploring celebs licensing their images called The Congress.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
We'll have to check that out because we only we're catching up on Black Mirror and just saw Jonah's Awful, which really explores that.
That was great. I mean, if you haven't seen it, we won't. No spoilers. So
no.
But it's very much about having your image owned
by digital.
Yeah.
People using digital replacements and things like that. Yeah. Thank you for all the advice on how to deal with sticky knobs. It's all useful. It's useful. Everybody was talking about it.
Everyone's got this problem. But yeah, is there anything else from Chatland?
Oh, I guess I'll open it up.
What else? Yep.
Neil Wharton says just put it in direct sunlight for 8 hours and it will whiten the keys.
But then Wagyu says UV from the sun can often be the cause of the yellowing in the first place.
I spoke to someone else as well who said never use cleaning products on your synths because that can cause the stickiness. I remember once trying to clean my white, hot, cool runners in high school with Jif, known as Sif here, I think, in the UK.
It used to be called Jif.
Ah, yeah, with a J. But it made them yellow. It was awful. It was terrible.
Yeah. Well, it's yellow. It's a yellow Jif. Sif.
I was only 12 or something.
Oh, is it yellow? No, maybe it's not. It's gone into a cleaning program.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I noticed what you said, Wagyu, again about baking soda fixing this rubberized plastic problem.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them have a coating, but I think some of them are literally made of that stuff, and there's no option but to replace the whole thing. I'm pretty sure. But yeah. Well, I mean, the only other thing I was going to mention was maybe some films we've seen this month. But okay.
Is that relevant?
Well, no.
Well, I just wanted to say, actually, so we're obviously like Alien. What a great film. What an amazing film. We rewatched it. It was so good. It made me go, I've never seen Aliens. Let's watch Aliens.
We'll change Nixie's name to Jonesy.
Oh.
That wouldn't be right.
No, it wouldn't be right. She's not ginger. Anyway, we watched Aliens. That's what I say to Aliens.
Everyone loves Aliens.
It's very controversial.
Everyone loves it.
Everybody loves it.
It
but
sucks.
It's totally different. I mean, if you look at Alien, it's painterly. The light, every shot's like a painting. And
It's a
just
work of
like
art, man.
flat in Aliens. And these cliched army characters, and everything's just hung up with cliche.
Hoorah!
I was just so disappointed because I was like, Alien was so
So how many
good.
of you were upset by that? Are you triggered?
Yeah. How do you guys feel?
Good.
I was really disappointed. But another amazing film we rewatched, which we'd only seen last year, we shared with friends, is Druk, or Another Round, which was Thomas
beautiful
Vinterberg's film
Yes.
about some school teachers who experiment with their blood alcohol limit. They think it's lower than it should be, and so they try being mildly drunk on a daily basis.
BOOcast does not give medical advice. BOOcast
No.
is for edutainment purposes only.
And they basically have an experiment, but it's a really touching and beautiful and life-affirming film. I highly recommend that.
Druk.
And
Link,
Link?
perhaps.
Oh, well, everybody watch it on your preferred streaming. These things are available everywhere now. Like, I don't know.
Okay, Druk.
Probably
D-R-U-K.
Movie because it's foreign. It's quite hard to find foreign films, I find. I couldn't find that Polish film that you guys were mentioning from the Lesson I Learned video.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway. And of course, because we were both ill, we needed some comedy, so we rewatched Airplane, or Flying High, as it's known in Australia.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
I have a drinking problem. That's my favourite bit.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot more than I remember enjoying it last time I saw
It's
it, which
great.
I was probably...
Well, I wanted
20
to
or
watch
something.
the Naked Gun films as well, but you said they weren't. You
No,
didn't
they were
enjoy
all right.
them last time.
We're just wittering now.
We're just wittering. You're right.
Thank you for joining us, everyone.
Delirious.
It's an absolute pleasure to have you all here. It's always a joy. It'd been
Thank
really
you.
nice, actually, to see you all in person at some
Yeah.
stage soon. Let's hope
Oh.
that happens.
Be good.
That'd be good, wouldn't it? Let's do something.
Hmm.
Keep us posted if you ever have anything happening.
Yes.
It's Bandcamp Friday. I should have.
Email us.
It's so delirious.
Email us batteryoperatedorchestra@gmail.com and just throw us your suggestions.
We'll bung
we'll be
some-
happy to plug them on
Yeah,
the show.
we'll stick it on the Twitter feed as well.
Yeah.
To get your stuff. If you've got anything coming out, or anything coming out that you think everyone should hear,
or any recommendations. Yeah.
yeah,
Well, that's what you said. Sorry.
basically the
I
same
am
thing.
delirious.
So we will. Yeah, we better get off now.
Yeah, I'm going to take some cold and flu tablets, I
Have
think.
a lie down. So thank you ever so much for joining us.
You've lifted our day. Thank you.
We came that close to cancelling.
The show must go on.
Isn't that ridiculous? Yeah, man.
I'm glad we've done it.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Yeah.
guys. I just realised
That
I
says
look like Mickey Mouse with
top.
speakers above my head.
Click that to live. Okay.
What's
Brilliant.
wrong?
Nothing. It's fine. Anyway, okay. We've got a little tune. So basically, we've rebuilt the studio
It's
again.
finally plumbed in.
Well, it's been plumbed in different ways all over the place, but we're in the final straits of the album. I hope. Let's fingers crossed. I've made it so that basically everything is talking to everything else, and it's possible to run around the room. And I just started making something up as a little sketch, basically to make sure everything's working. Brie came in and filmed it, so that's what you've got. Apologies, it's a bit off the cuff.
That's lovely.
Yes,
That's why I filmed it.
But it stars the Minibrutes in there,
But it's,
and the Micro Freak,
it's incredibly exciting.
and
the
the
way everything's
Opsics, and the
connected.
Trigon, and the Dominion, and the Moog. Moog.
It's
People
ridiculous.
get so annoyed
Oh,
with
it's
me.
frankly ridiculous, the joy in the studio in this video, though. It's like,
Yeah.
if you'd told us 10 years ago that this would be our studio, I think we'd be like, oh.
No, I knew it was coming. It's inevitable. Are we completely? Are we? Oh, way too loud. Anyway, look. Should we say goodbye?
Yeah, let's say goodbye. We're deliriously wittering away.
Goodbye, darlings. We'll see you in August. And
Yes, August.
I don't know what
By crikey.
day it is or anything, but
We'll be here.
we'll see you.
We managed it today. We'll manage it again.
We'll manage it again. And we'll all be well. I hope you're all very well. And
Yes, be well.
hope July the 4th goes off with a nice bang, not a nasty bang,
Yeah.
and not a messy sort of like fireworks pointing in the wrong direction kind of bang.
No. Play
That's
the
it.
Song.
Time to go.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, it's terrible. You hang up. No, you hang up.
You hang up.
No, you hang up.
No, you hang up.
No, you hang up.
I'm going to be sick.
All right. Bye.
Bye.